In companies all across the United States, hardworking employees have jobs that may expose them to the dangers of hazardous chemicals in the workplace. The Hazard Communication Standard, nicknamed HazCom, was created by the Occupational Safety and Health Administration to protect and inform employees of potential workplace hazards. At its core, workers have the right to know the hazards of the materials in the workplace. OSHA recently finalized updates to this standard to make it easier to recognize hazard warnings on container labels and standardize the material safety data sheet. This updated standard, nicknamed HazCom 2012, aligns with the globally harmonized system of classification and labeling, introducing an internationally accepted set of label warnings and a standardized 16-section SDS format. Going forward, workers will not only know about potential hazards, they will better understand what the warnings mean, what to do if exposed, and how to protect themselves. Let's review the new labeling requirements. Every container of hazardous materials should be labeled with the appropriate signal word, pictogram, and hazard and precautionary statements. There are 2 signal words. Danger, used for the most severe hazards, such as mass explosion, extreme flammability, severe skin or eye damage, or fatality. The word warning will be used for less severe hazards, such as a fire hazard, or harmful to health, such as skin irritation, or narcotic effects causing dizziness or drowsiness. No signal word indicates minimal or no hazards. In addition to these 2 signal words, the new HazCom 2012 standard incorporates a set of 9 pictures, or pictograms, that denote specific hazards. Each pictogram will have a red border and include associated H statements describing the hazards of the material and P statements detailing the precautionary measures needed when using the material. Now, here's a quick run through each pictogram. The health pictogram indicates hazards to your health like internal organ damage, cancer, or genetic defects. Corrosion indicates severe skin burns or eye damage. Skull and crossbones means the material is fatal or toxic if swallowed, inhaled, or in contact with skin. The exclamation mark indicates the material causes skin, eye, or respiratory irritation, or is harmful if swallowed, inhaled, or in contact with skin. The flame indicates the material is a fire hazard. The gas cylinder indicates the material is under pressure and may explode if heated. The exploding bomb indicates the material is explosive and is a projection hazard. The flame over circle indicates the material is an oxidizer and can cause or intensify fire. The last pictogram, environment, communicates that the material is toxic to aquatic life. OSHA isn't making this symbol mandatory on labeling or the SDS, but manufacturers may choose to use it. The next significant change to HazCom is the standardized 16-section SDS format. OSHA has made the information in sections 1 through 11 and 16 mandatory. The information in sections 12 through 15 may be included, but is not mandatory and will not be enforced by OSHA. The SDS is intended to communicate the hazards of the material. The consistent format enables workers to access critical hazardous material information more efficiently. Let's review each of the critical sections. Section 1, Identification, provides the material name along with the supplier contact information, including emergency contact information. Section 2, Hazard Identification, summarizes the hazards, including signal words, pictograms, and H&P statements as described on the product label. Section 3, Composition, identifies the ingredients of the material, along with the concentration. Section 4, First Aid Measures, describes the initial care that can be given if an exposure occurs. Section 5, Firefighting, provides requirements for fighting a fire caused by the material or arising in its vicinity. Section 6, Accidental Release Measures, describes the appropriate response in case of a spill or accidental release. Section 7, Handling and storage provides guidance on safe handling and storage practices that minimize potential hazards. Section 8, Exposure Controls, provides recommendations to reduce exposure, such as PPE, personal protective equipment, such as safety glasses or gloves. Section 9, Physical and Chemical Properties, describes properties that can help to easily identify the material, such as color and odor. Section 10, Stability and Reactivity, describes the conditions that can cause the material to be unstable or reactive, such as exposure to air or water. Section 11, Toxicological Information, intended primarily for the health professional, providing health hazard testing and results. Section 12 through 15 are not mandatory under OSHA, but include 12, Ecological Information, 13, Disposal Considerations, 14, Transport Information, 15, Regulatory Information. Finally, the last mandatory section, Section 16, Other Information, provides details on the SDS preparation, including the date of the last revision. With this new system, workers in the U.S. and eventually worldwide will have the same simple, concise information they need to understand how to prevent injuries and illness and save lives.